Hello everyone! In this video we are going to talk about the Illustrator basics. Specifically, we are going to focus on layers, isolation modes, artboards, how to apply grid lines and guidelines, as well as file templates, how to set up a start file. So let's go ahead and get started. So after you have set up your fashion workspace, it is important to recognize what each one of these features really corresponds to. For instance, in our previous videos, we went over the artboards and what it actually means to have more than one artboard. So if I click on my next artboard, Command 0 to move on to the next artboard, you can see that I have more than one available to work with. Command 0 to go back to my first artboard. You can think of the panel dock as your backpack with all of the essential tools you need to be successful in the classroom. So in this case, the layers would represent your notebook with all of the different pages where you can write down and separate information. It is very important for you to keep your layers organized and labeled, because when you pass on a file to someone else, and in the industry this happens quite a bit, you need to make sure that you're very organized and very clear so that any edits can be made very efficiently and very quickly. When you click on this arrow right here, you can see that the back view of the jacket has quite a lot of different sub layers, which means that each one of these lines can be accessed and edited specifically from here. The first thing I'd like to go over with the layers is just similar how we went over with the artboards, where you can click on this icon to create a new artboard. It is the same exact process for the layers. You can click on this icon right here and you will create a new layer, where you can dedicate that layer for whatever is the next major thing you're going to be working on. Whenever you create a new layer, it always comes up on the top of your previously selected layers, the back side of the jacket. You can also delete layers very easily by simply dragging them and dropping them to your trash can right here. Additionally, you can make your layers be visible or invisible. So let's say you'd like to print out this page without the back view of the jacket. You can simply make it invisible and it will print out just like that. And if you'd like to make another copy with the back view, you can bring back the visibility on and print another copy. Another thing you can do with the layers, which is very helpful and useful once you have started working on a more complex version of the artboard, you can essentially lock and unlock. So in this empty area right here, if you just click one time, you can basically lock the back view of the jacket. So as you can see, I'm trying to move it and I cannot move it. And if I'd like to, move it again, I'm just gonna unlock it and now I can drag it and put it in a different area. Another thing you can do with the layers menu is that you can reorganize the order. So if you'd like the front jacket to be on top, you can simply drag that and put it up here. And now you have the front jacket layer is the first one and the back jacket layer is the second one. As you can see, my initial layers are all labeled. However, when I toggle down, you can see that everything is grouped right here. Instead of adding a separate layer, if you would like to add a sub layer that will go under this other or miscellaneous options, you can just click on the sub layer thumbnail right here and it will create another sub layer for you, which is this one right here. So if you'd like to delete it, again, click and drag. Another important thing to notice with the layers menu is that whenever you select your object, you will see that this red square will come up and that indicates the selected art. So in this case, the red square is rather large, and the reason for it indicates that you have selected all of it. So staying organized in your file making process is very important, because it will definitely ease on the process and it will make you look a lot more professional. And in the industry, file sharing is a very common thing, so you would always want to stay professional. Another thing I'd like to point out here is the isolated view. The isolated view basically allows you to, as you can see right now, if I were to make any changes, it will make changes to the entire object. However, if I isolate this jacket from everything else, and I can do that by double clicking on it, and as you can see, it's putting me in an isolated mode right here. So what you can do in isolation mode is basically alter any lines without problem. To center in the artboard, Command 0, and to exit out of isolation mode, simply click back twice. Next, we'll talk about a file template and the importance of setting up a start file. A file template will help you guide your work, as well as help you be very efficient and save you a lot of time. So to begin with that, we're first going to make our way to the File, New option, and under the New document, we're going to make our way to the Print options. We can view all of the presets and select an option we're happy with. So we're going to go ahead and choose Letter. You can give it a title. The first step of creating a file template is to make your way down to the Artboards menu. And normally your artboards is going to be already centered in, but let's say it shows up looking a little zoomed in, a little bit on the side. What you have to do is you need to make sure that your artboard is centered so that whenever you place your file template, it will be placed in the center. So to do that, we're going to Command or Control 0, and we're going to ensure that our file is centered. The next step for you will be to make your way down to the layers or up here and ensure that you already have a layer set up. You can give it a name. And to place a template, you're going to make your way to the File menu, make your way down to Place, navigate your way to the File menu, and if this menu or if these options do not show up on your computers, you're going to click on the Options menu. On Windows, they automatically show up, but if on Macs, sometimes they don't, and it looks like that. You are going to click on the Options menu, and normally it will be pre-selected to link it with your original page. You're going to uncheck that and check Template, and you're going to click on Place, and it's locked. What that means is I can now trace on it, draw on it, and it will not move in place, which is very useful and helpful. This is the original file, and if I were to draw anywhere in here, the lines are going to keep getting connected, and that will not be helpful. So it is very important that you place your own file so that you can work a little more efficiently. Be sure to save your file. File, save if you have already saved it. If you have not, save as, and give it a name. Make sure you save it as an Illustrator file, and this will be your startup file. For me, I've already saved it, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Replace. And now you can begin working. After you have placed your template, it's very important that you understand how to work with different guidelines. Guidelines are going to help you arrange your content and make sure that you are staying within proportion. And to turn on your guidelines, you are going to go under View and find the rulers, because the rulers are the ones that are going to help us drag out and place certain guidelines on our pages. So you're going to go ahead and show rulers. Mine are already placed in here and they're in points, I believe. So, but if you'd like to change that, right click on the ruler and you can change from points to picas, inches, millimeters, centimeters. You know, it's really up to you. So to drag out a guideline, let's say you'd like to place a guideline right here in the middle, you are simply going to make your way to the ruler on the left hand side and click and drag. And as you can see, a little line is being dragged. If you no longer need your guides, like the ones we just placed, you can simply make your way to the, again, View menu and you can go all the way into down to guides, and you can just simply click on hide guides, and that will get rid of them. They will still be here, but if you'd like to have a clear view without the guides, you can do that as well. So to turn them back on, make your way down from the view menu to guides and go ahead and show guides. If you would like to clear them or completely erase them, you can just click on clear guides. So we'll just go ahead and show them to you again. Another way to stay organized in Illustrator or within your workspace is to work with the grid options. So if you'd like to turn on the grid, you can just simply make your way down to the show grid, and this is how the grid looks like. And if you're working with very detailed, precise information, this can be very helpful for you to determine where certain lines should fall. If you do not want the grid lines, you can just hide the grid down here, like so, and Command 0 to center in your artboard, and you're set.